You remember I said that my mom's going to be in this show.
Yeah.
So she's in a flat in Melkbos.
Bring her in, ladies and gentlemen. Ryan's mom.
So behind her flat is Blouberg. And behind Blouberg was the Battle of Blouberg.
Okay.
1806. It was what caused the second British occupation, and they ended up staying for 150 years after that. There's a reason for the because Napoleon broke the
thank you very much.
there was a peace treaty. So after the first occupation, they said, he's signed a peace treaty at Amiens. I don't know where that is, in Belgium or France. I'm not sure. But then Napoleon broke the peace treaty. So the British we're going to come. He broke. We need to take the Cape. Otherwise, he's going to control the Eastern trade. I don't know what. So the Batavian Republic at that stage, not the Dutch, because Napoleon had pushed out the royal family of the Netherlands who'd fled to England and called it the Batavian Republic. So the Batavian Republic controlled the Cape, the Dutch. And so the Battle of Blouberg was fought between the British and the Batavian Republic. Which nationality of these four was not represented in the army that day of the Batavian Republic?
Okay.
Was it Dutch, Polish, French, or Hungarian? Which nationality was not represented in the army of the Batavian Republic that day at the Battle of Blouberg?
So I'd imagine the French would be, because they'd have the same reasons for sending troops that the English did. They would want control of that black around the thing. The Polish, they just love a war. Yes, it's as long as somebody's got some beers to chuck them after the battle, they're in it. They're in it. The Polish love themselves a war. No, honestly, if you look at how often Polish people, there was a Polish squadron in the RAF. Yeah. During World War II. So
really?
Yeah. So, the Polish, they do love a war. They love to get involved in Moeren ook.
Must be a lot of Polish in Krugersdorp.
So now what we've got left here is the Dutch and the Hungarians. Now, the Hungarians at the time were I don't think they were independent at that stage. I think they were either they would be part of the Ottoman Empire or... Yeah, I think at that point probably the Ottoman Empire, because I don't think they were free. I don't think they'd yet managed to shake off. I know that parts of Hungary had managed to defend itself against the Ottoman Empire. It's one of the reasons why Vlad the Impaler is so famous, was because he helped fight off the Turks for so long.
Yeah.
But eventually they'll end up allying with the Austrians. So I think they're either allied with the Turks or with the Austrians, in which case those guys would have had to have had a bit of a say on whether Hungarians could show up that day. So is it the Dutch? Is it the Dutch that weren't in the battle? I don't know. It's got to be Hungarians, doesn't it? I'm gonna go with Hungarians.
Your final answer?
Yeah.
It was the Polish. It was a bit of a trick question. I'll tell you why. So you're quite right in that
the Poles love a fight.
The French came in two ships to warn the British, to warn the Dutch that the British are coming. And then the Dutch said, oh, shucks. By the way, would you mind staying helping us fight? And the two French ship soldiers from the two French said, sure, we'll join. And they formed two battalions. And the one French ship was called the Atalante. And that's the name of my mom's flat in
that's a bit tasteless, but very in line with Cape Town, really.
The British landed at Melkbosstrand. Back then it was called Losbert Bay, and then the battle was behind Blouberg, because Blouberg, the little hill of Blouberg's not really in Blouberg, it's more in Melkbos. But I'll let those oaks have that fight. So that is what the French was about. Of course, there were Dutch in the Batavian military, but there was a bunch of mercenaries called the Waldekians, made up of German and Hungarian soldiers who also joined the Batavian Republic. They obviously paid. They fell back a bit. They didn't really got their money and bolted.
If I was on the other side of Africa having a bit of a fight over something I didn't care about.
Yeah, they bolted.
I'd take my beer money and leave as well.
And there were no Polish there that I know of.
I mean, there definitely were. There's three of them. They were just they fucked some oaks up there.
There was a Batavian dude called Pellegrini, which sounds very Italian, and he was very good with his cannon, and he caused a lot of casualties amongst the British. But the British did win the battle. And I've been on that battlefield for a tour. It was quite good.
You can do tours there. That's interesting. All right.
Yeah.
Well, if you live in Cape Town, then
Yeah.
that's something that's worth giving it a shot to.